Files Complianos and all of the rest of it. Hello, girls. Hello, and welcome back to Rough as Rats, the podcast with me, Maisie FL. Sorry, I've not got socks on, and unless I'm sleeping, I will be wearing socks because bare feet just make me feel ill, especially since when I was in like year 8, someone said that I had feet like E.T., which, cool, yeah, read me to filth. It actually is crazy the effects that going to school has on a person, and like that will stay with you for the rest of your life. Like being asked if I was a lesbian, and all of these comments were made by a friend. I say in speech marks, actually, a friend. God, I love this chair. I don't want to go to work, girls. I closed last night, but I did a double. I did 11 till 11:30 at night. Hell no. Oh, hell no. I hated it. No, I didn't hate it, actually. That's such a lie. Like, it was fine. I actually quite enjoyed the job. I can't lie. I just, when it gets to a certain point in the day and you're like, I should not be around other people at this point. Like, it's been too many hours of me talking to others, engaging, and there's live music tonight. I keep forgetting that. Live music. Lucky me. Anyway, how the bloody F are you all? Hope you're all doing well. Can you believe it? We're here for a second week. And I've posted a vlog, a podcast, and a Sims episode all in 1 week because my Sims Let's Play is officially out. If you didn't know, I've started doing a Sims Let's Play on my YouTube channel, so if you want to watch that, you can. Anyway, feel a bit teary today. I don't really know why. My mum's not in a great mood because the dogs aren't very well. They've both got like really upset stomachs. Sorry to talk about that. Like, sorry if you're eating, but they do. And like, fuck off! Fucking fly in my face. That's the one thing I hate about summer, is flies. I can't stand them. Flies, mosquitoes, because that means that there's something sticky around. And if there's one thing you should know about me, sticky hands, sticky feet, sticky anything. I don't deal well with textures. Like, when you're wet, your body's wet, and then you get sand on you. Cool, yeah, I'll throw up. Awesome. Anyway, just not great vibes. So today I'm working 5 till close. Another close. Awesome. Closing Friday and Saturday night. Very awesome. Very fun. But it's fine. I got beefed by some man yesterday because his card didn't go through. So I was like, oh, the payment didn't go through. Like, do you mind if I charge you now? He was like, if we're talking about drinks, your pal over there served me, and it was more expensive than when you served me. And I was like, okay. Like, you're coming with smoke at what? How old are you? And I'm just here trying to serve you. Cool. Anyway, today I thought I'd do 50 facts about me. Right. I am not the most interesting person you'll ever meet. Actually, probably the most interesting person you'll ever meet. But, one sec. Little beverage break. My teeth are definitely rotting. I really need to go to a dentist, but I'm not going to. Like, I am categorically not going to go to one because why should I have to subject myself to that torture and you have to pay for it? That's crazy. I'm not doing it. Anyway, for the third time. So I do have 50 facts about me. Why does my nose never run until it's like I'm doing something where I don't want my nose to run because it's just so inconvenient? Like right now. Again, not picking my nose. The dishwasher's going off. That beeping is getting on my nerves. There was a child crying yesterday when I was trying to talk to someone, and I was like, look, I'm not being funny and I'm not being rude, but I cannot talk to you while there is background noise going on because my brain feels like it's about to explode. How anyone can do that is beyond me. Anyway, maybe this is way too loud. Should I turn it down a little bit? I don't know. It still seems pretty loud. I'm just going to leave it and then hope and pray. Anyway, I thought I'd do a 50 facts about me because... and I'll tell you why. I can't see anything. Does that say 5? What does that say? Yeah, 5. Sorry, this is how bad my eyesight is. It's fucked. Anyway, I thought if anyone who hasn't watched my podcast before, or maybe you're just new to my vlogs, my podcast, my channel, anything, then you might not know much about me, and that just won't do. So today I thought I'd do like a reintroduction of myself with 50 facts about me, and I just want to say I'm not the most interesting person. I was joking earlier. I'm not that interesting. Not a lot has really happened to me. I'm not very cool. and I'm kind of like, I fell off, but I've never really been on. So I just want you to know that trying to think about 50 different things about me was near impossible, and there were times that I was going to sack it off, but I persevered. So some of these facts are going to be dog shit, okay? But they're still facts. Oh, you know, not every fact is interesting. Do you know what I mean? Some women out there still support Chris Brown. That's a fact, but it's sad and depressing and not interesting. But that doesn't mean it's not a fact. It's actually very scary. How can anyone support that man? Being like, oh, but he was 19, he was so young. Does anyone understand that when you're 19, you are legally an adult? Also, like, you are fully aware of what's right and wrong, I would say by the age of, like, 13. Probably even younger. Like, I'm not a child psychologist because bun that. But still, anyway, let's get into it. First fact about me, this is actually the 51st fact. Wait, no, it's not. We're only on one. But I've actually remembered one more fact. And I'm going to tell you it now before I forget. I was scared of witches growing up to the point that if we watched a film with a witch in it, my friend's mum, Ellen, God bless her soul, I love her. I'm not friends with her daughter anymore, lol, but whatever. Ellen would cover my eyes and my ears, and so that I didn't have to see the witch because I would get nightmares, or she would just like fast forward the DVD. Yeah, that's right, goated. And oh God, I love her. Anyway, that was the fact that I thought if I don't tell you right now, I will not remember it. Also, before we get okay, cool. Before we get into this, one last thing. I want to go on holiday desperately. Michael went to me, I'd like to go on a hot holiday. So I was like, okay, have a look at some places and then let me know when is cheapest to go and I'll ask my work for the time off. And he was like, yeah, me and Ben are thinking of going to Portugal at the end of May. And I was like, oh, so you don't want to go on holiday with me? You're going on holiday with Ben? And he was like, well, no, I was thinking me and you could go in September, which I've already booked a week off in September because we're going to Paris and also it's my birthday. So I was like, I can't get another week off in September. I was like, just forget about it. Like, why? I thought you wanted to go to Portugal with me. Just riled me up. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on holiday on my own. I've got no money. I need to wait till I get paid. But now I want to go on holiday. And there's like the angel on my shoulder being like, do not spend any money. Save up to go traveling. And then there's a devil on my other shoulder that's like, book a holiday and go on your own. Or don't go on your own, but just go on holiday. Find someone to go with. Pardon me. I've had a pizza. And that tasted disgusting. Anyway, let's get started on my 50 facts. Are you ready to be enthralled by how interesting I am as a person? Right, first one. This is a good one. My name is Maisie. My name is Maisie FL. FL stands for, oh God, I've got speech bubbles. Literally spit. FL stands for Faith Lorraine. God, this is disgusting. I've got so much spit in my mouth, like always. Also, sorry, now I knew this was going to happen. I was like, this will be such a quick podcast episode because I'll fly through them. I knew that the minute I talk about something, I would think of something else and I would lose my track of thought. But you know how I said it in my vlog, which I can't remember if I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do vlogs on Mondays, podcasts on Wednesdays, and Sims on Sundays. So it's quite a top-heavy week, like me. Boobs! Anyway, I said in my vlog that I ran out of my oat cleanser from the Inky list and I started using the micellar water, but like the gel cleanser, not the actual water that you use with a pad, like the one that you use and like you wash your face. And I was like, oh, I've got no gunk in my eyes since. Lies, there is something wrong with my eyes. Poet, and I didn't know it. My eyes are just filled with gunk all the time. Anyway, my middle name is Faith Lorraine. Faith was cool, and now my lisp. Cool. Faith was my... Let me see if I can say that properly. I need a dry mouth. Faith. Right, cool. Yeah, it's not going to work. Faith, embarrassing, was my dad's mum, and Lorraine is my mum's mum. And then Fuller is my last name, obviously. And something about me, I am obsessed with my initials. But the problem is I got them tattooed on my body, right? Which side is it on? I think it's this side. Yep, it's this side. I have MFLF in a little circle on my arm. And 2 people at work yesterday said, "Oh, I thought you had a tattoo that said MILF." I was like, yeah, but for me, that would be Maisie I'd like to fuck. So, get away. Get away. Anyway, my name means a lot to me. I am very proud of my name. I was named after my nanny Maisie, or my mum's nan, and being a Maisie means a lot. Growing up, there was hardly any Maisies around. Now they're fucking everywhere. It's like shit in a field, like they're everywhere. But not a lot of them have an IE like I do. And also, you could never get magnets or like bags or headbands with your name on. It would be very hard. Like growing up, nothing ever had Maisie on it. So that's how you know I'm one of the OGs. And being a Fuller means a lot to me because of how close I am with my dad. And also, like, I just suit the name Fuller. Like, sorry, I do. Miss Fuller. Yes, I'm here. Bella. I love being a Fuller, and I actually am debating whether I would ever change my last name if I got married. Michael's last name is Heffernan. Maisie Heffernan. Like, yes, of course it would be lovely because I'd be married to him, but I love my last name. So what now, huh? What now? Anyway, that's my first fact. Thank you for watching. I'm joking. Second one, born on 9/11. Also, you might know a lot of these already, but it's still nice to sit and have a chat, isn't it? I was born on 9/11, the day it happened, the 11th of September 2001. Yes, I was born on that day. If you're thinking about making a joke or trying to like do a little play on words, I've heard every single joke that anyone could ever make under the sun. Oh, that wasn't the worst thing that happened that day you being born was. Oh, I bet your birthday was explosive. Which, these jokes, low-key offensive, or probably high-key, but people make them anyway. And I'm just there like, yes, my birthday is 9/11. I did not choose for that to happen. And then my mum was like, you were a week late and you decided to come out that day. And I was like, you could have just held on. You could have clenched. You could have waited till the 14th of September so then me and Amy Winehouse would have the same birthday. Because yes, Amy Winehouse is a Virgo, as is Zendaya, Kiki Palmer, Michael Jackson, to name a few. So yes, I am a Virgo, Virgoat. I am very proud of being a Virgo. People used to shit on Virgos. No more. Virgo men, sure. Just shit on any men. Just don't bring my my culture is not your costume. Don't bring my being a Virgo into it. I know a lot of Virgos. Some I like, some I don't like. But I do believe Virgo is the best sign. But that is because I am one of them myself. Even if I wasn't a Virgo, I would think whatever else I was. Like, I don't see myself as anything but a Virgo, though. Obviously, because I've been one my whole life. But maybe a Leo or a Cancer or maybe a Scorpio. I feel like people kind of get Scorpio vibes from me because I'm kind of fiery and I'm stubborn. Anyway, I forget not everyone watches these. Some people listen to them. So when it goes silent, I wonder if they think like, did she die? Anyway, oh my God, don't say things like that, dickhead. Next fact. I have 2 older brothers, okay? Not a lot of people know this, or they forget this, or they just aren't aware. I am one of 3. I am the youngest. I have 2 older brothers. One is 29. He's a Pisces. One is 27 in July. He's in Cancer. Alex, the one who's born in July, he's got the same birthday as Michael. Not the same year, but like the same date. July 17th, World Emoji Day. Evan, who is the eldest, the one who's 29, he's diabetic. He got diagnosed with diabetes when he was 7? Question mark. When I was like a baby. Or 6? A baby. And that's why growing up, we were never really allowed things like full fat Coke. Well, we weren't allowed. Everything was like diet or sugar-free because Evan had diabetes. And now it's been like 2 decades of him having it. And it's nuts. And obviously diabetes is awful, but like it doesn't, like, he's fine, like he's happy, I think, but it so affects his mood. Like, he is a very temperamental person anyway, but if he's low, like he's not had enough sugar or he's had too much, oh my days, evacuate the room. He is awful to be around, and you'll literally be like, Evan, get some orange juice down your gullet now. But I feel like medicine Hot take. I feel like medicine's come a long way in the last 20 years. And obviously now you can get those things that like read your blood sugars and you can just scan your phone. That shit's crazy. That is like scanners you shop. That is crazy. But yeah, that's a fun fact. He was born and then got diabetes. And yeah. And I was born on 9/11. Yeah. Yeah. Cool little horde of children that my parents have. I actually feel so bad for them. Us three as kids, yeah, you're cursed. My mum and dad. Sorry, I've written them all down because I can't remember anything about myself. Bloody hell, I can't remember anything about anything, let alone trying to remember things about myself. That's so depressing. I don't want to think about myself that much. It's terribly sad. My mum and dad have been married for over 30 years. Read it and weep. They have a 13-year age gap. Oh! And my mum got married on her 21st birthday. Idiot. I literally said to her, did you not think about the fact that you may have got divorced? And she was like, no, obviously not when we got married. And I was like, that's crazy. Because that's the first thing I'd be thinking about. I'd be like, I want it to be on a nice day that sounds nice when I get married. But I don't want it to be on my birthday just in case it doesn't work out. But it's worked out so far, so that's grand. And my mum lived across the road growing up, so both of my parents have lived down this road a long time, so when she moved out, she just moved across the road into this house where my dad lived, because my dad's lived here since he was 7. I've never moved house for my whole life. The only time we moved out of this house was for 6 months when we got flooded in 2014, because yes, that's right, our house got flooded. Awesome. And we had to live somewhere else for 6 months, and we had to send our dogs to dog boarding. Imagine that. If that happened now, I'd literally rather stay in a tent with Mash and Banji. I would not be able to do 6 months without my boys. Obviously, back then we had no choice. But, like, that shit was crazy. And we lived in a townhouse. It was so nice in Addleston. And Addleston's a shithole, apart from the light cinema. But it was down a little private road. It was crazy. I was on the top floor. I was on the bloody top floor. I actually loved it. I was so sad moving out of that house. Like, don't get me wrong, I love our house. And I can't ever imagine living somewhere else. But that shit was crazy. I felt like I was living in luxury. But yeah, I've never moved house. I had friends that moved house all the time growing up, and I was thinking that must suck ass because I love my house. Also, we have so much stuff that I think trying to get everything we own out of our house would take minimum 3,000 years. I was trying to think of how long it would take, and I actually have no idea because I've never moved house, so I don't have a time frame in mind. Next fact. This is a good one. I've never known what I wanted to do with my life. Even when I was little, every time I tried something new, I'd want to do that until I tried the next thing. So, like, I would get my hair cut and I'd be like, oh, I want to be a hairdresser. And then I would go to the supermarket and I'd be like, oh, I want to work in a supermarket. And then I would do drama and I'd be like, oh, I want to be an actress. Like, I never had one thing, which is so jarring because so many of my friends were like, oh, I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be this. I want to be that. Never known. I've never had a clear path. And I think that's because I feel like I don't have a calling and am low-key talented. No! Talentless! Low-key talentless. And then I put in brackets, always been the same. True. So true. Bloody front door's just slamming everywhere. So true. I've never felt like I have one true thing that I'm meant to do. Maybe until I started editing videos and I realised how much I loved that. But, like, that isn't even, like, I've said before, going full-time with doing this is luck. And it's just, like, having people that want to watch you. You can't, like, I guess maybe you could, like, pay to get it. But that's like fake subscribers, and I ain't about that. So I've never known what I've wanted. That's why I work, like, I just job hop in hospitality because I'm just avoiding the inevitable of getting like a proper job. Like, Michael's got a proper job. My friend Sop, she's a lawyer. Like, yeah, cool. I know people that are studying medicine at uni. You literally couldn't pay me to do that. You could not pay me to do that because I would have no patience, and also I just couldn't do it. Like, no. Categorically no. Sorry. Next up. God, we're starting off with the really hard-hitting ones. I've always been insanely sensitive and extremely emotional. When I was little, I hated sleepovers and would get my mum to pick me up because I missed her. Still applies. I don't like sleepovers. I'm anti sleepovers. Even when people sleep over at my house, I'm like, oh, when are you leaving? Actually, no, I'm not always like that, but I love my own space. I'm very comfortable on my own, which is why when I got in a relationship, it was such a weird adjustment because like you do things with other like someone else. I love my own time. I have a social battery that runs out very quickly, and I'm very comfortable being alone. And that took a lot of hard work. Can I just say? It hasn't always been like this. I was so bad at being on my own and like sitting with my own thoughts for a long time, especially after my old ex-boyfriend. And then after him, I was like, you need to get used to being on your own because at the end of the day, everyone around you could be an op. You don't know, right? So you want to be able to be sure that you're okay on your own just in case it calls for it. And I am okay on my own. But I've always been very sensitive. I've always been very, very emotional. It doesn't take much to make me cry and make me spiral and get insanely depressed. What a lovely gift that is to my lovely little brain. I went to uni for 3 months in in Leeds in 2020 to do hair and makeup, film, TV, and stage, and I absolutely hated it. That shit was bunk. I went during COVID. Hated one of the people I lived with. She was just nasty. You're a nasty girl. What do you think I'm gonna do it for? A bit of smoked salmon? Are you mad? I don't care, big brother. Anyway, sorry. My bad. I hated her. Like, she was just nasty work. We didn't get to really go into uni much because of COVID, so you're like learning to do a practical course over Zoom, and they just got the most bogus lecturers in, being like, you're not the talent, the actor's the talent, you're not just their makeup artist, you're their therapist. And I was thinking, what a great way to encourage people to want to work in that industry. Shut the fuck up. I logged off of Zoom that day, and I think that was when I was like, nah, like I'm only here for the student loan at this point. And then I came home for Christmas, and then my brother was like, when are you going back to uni? And I started crying. I was like, I don't want to go back. And then I never did. I did a round trip, got all my stuff, and never looked back. And I have considered maybe like 5 million different uni courses since, but I've never gone back because I know myself and I know that I'll hate it. And I also can't just, I'd be doing it for the graduation pics. Okay, that is, whenever someone says uni's hard, I'm like, just think about your graduation pictures, because that's the only thing that would get me through, and that didn't even get me through. So there you go. I cannot do a cartwheel, and I am not flexible in the slightest. I can't do the splits, can't do a handstand, can't do a headstand, can't do any of it. The cartwheel is the most shocking thing to me because it seems that everyone and their mum, including mine, can do a cartwheel. I can't do one. I've tried to learn. I've looked on WikiHow. It doesn't work. I can't cartwheel, and I've given up hope that I ever will be able to. I'd like to be able to. Maybe this summer will be my turn to learn. Time to learn. But as it stands, I can't do a cartwheel. I never went to gymnastics growing up either because bun that. Like, imagine not being able to do it and everyone else can. Too embarrassing for me. No, thank you. I did ballet when I was little. This is quite funny. But I wanted a green tutu instead of a pink one. What was that? And ended up quitting because it wasn't funky enough for me. I've always been the same person. I think I did that when I was really young. And then I did a lot of clubs growing up. I did ballet, and then I quit ballet, and I did brownies, and then I quit brownies because, I'm such a quitter. I am a quitter. Like, the thing is, I think I've always known what I like and what I don't like. And I think that's more self-assured than a quitter. That's how I'll put it anyway. But there was these really annoying twins at brownies, and I hated them, so I quit. And then I did a thing called perform. Yes, performing arts. I actually went to Hollywood Performing Arts with Leon Thomas. She said, take your time, what's the rush? And then I also did... What else did I do growing up? Oh, Kumon, because I was thick as shit. Still the same. Cows are my favourite animals. I've gone through a lot of different favourite animals, including wombats, owls, elephants. Cows are like the longest standing so far. I love cows. I've got a cow tattooed on me. If you didn't know, back in the day when I had a horse, there was a cow at the yard where we used to keep our horse, Kylie, and I loved her and I used to go and feed her. And when I was mentally ill in like the summer of 2019, she was just who I would go and sit with, a cow, when I was sad. And it worked. It helped. And she lived till 19. And then when she died, I was at uni, and her owner texted me saying, oh, Kylie's died, and I had to leave my lecture because I was that upset. So there's that. Yeah, love a cow. That's why I gave up eating beef in 2019 and I haven't eaten it since. I'm obviously a bit of a shit vegetarian because I still eat fish and sometimes I eat chicken, but I do not eat pork at all, and I do not eat lamb, and I do not eat beef. Beef being the one I'm strictest about. I don't like the taste of lamb, and I also don't want to eat it. And same with pork. I just don't want to. Do you know what I mean? Growing up, this house was like a petting zoo. We had dogs, cats, parrots, chinchillas, rabbits, horses, fish, you name it. We probably had it. We had hamsters at one point. I loved rabbits. I'm a big fan of rabbits. Saw a lovely story today about a homeless man that had a rabbit and then someone walked by and threw it in a river. Lovely, lovely thing. This is why I hate TikTok, because why did you tell me that? Like, I'm already depressed enough without knowing that. But whatever. What have you? But I love rabbits. I'm just scared of them biting me. I love cats. I'm more of a dog person than a cat person, but that's because I've always had dogs growing up, and I feel like dogs are more predictable than cats. Cats will be like, yeah, let me stroke up on your leg, let me get up in your grill, let me scratch you. Like, no. No, like I'm a bit more wary of cats. I do love cats, and don't get me wrong, I would get one, but I would be more inclined to get a dog first. You know what I mean? But that's not me saying I'm not a cat person, because I do like cats. I hate spaghetti bolognese. This is one fact you need to know about me. I hate spaghetti bolognese, and I have made a whole video about it, and I got a hate comment on it saying that I'm uncultured, whatever. Like, look at my fucking skin colour. I don't care. Like, do you expect someone to be cultured when they're white, and I'm not even spicy white? And saying that I don't like mince of any variety. I hate meatballs, bolognese, chili con carne, lasagna, shepherd's pie, cottage pie, anything with mince. I hate mince. I really, really hate it. I hate the consistency of it. I hate the texture. That's the reason I hate it. I don't know what it is about spaghetti bolognese specifically. I tried to make it with vegetarian mince. That I did a video on that. Still hated it. And I remember once at an ex-boyfriend's house, his mum made spaghetti bolognese, and I felt so rude saying I didn't like it, so I smothered it in cheese and I cried while eating it, because that's how much I hate spaghetti bolognese. And she was like, you should have just told me, like I wouldn't have been offended. And I was like, okay, no, I couldn't do that. Sorry. I'd rather cry and try and eat it than tell you that I don't want it. My bad. I have problems. Not a big fan of any citrus flavours. Sorry, I know this might sound really boring, and while I'm reading them, I'm very aware of how boring this might sound, but I think it's quite fun finding these things out about someone. Like, you know, when you're just in a casual conversation, someone's like, oh, I don't like this, and it's like, oh, I like the fact that I know that about you. Like, people have so much depth. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to get to know most people I meet, but some people, the odd exception, I do. So I like finding this stuff out. So hopefully this isn't as boring as I'm scared it will be. I guess we'll see. Yeah, hate citrus flavours, apart from, like, I like Fanta, but I wouldn't, like, order any pudding with orange in it. I hate Terry's chocolate orange. Key lime pie, no. Lemon meringue, no. Anything flavoured lemon, lemon posset, no. No, no, no. Not for me. Not for me. And one more time for good luck. Not for me. Same applies with fudge and caramel, anything like that. Not a huge fan of. Really not a big caramel person. I don't mind a Mars bar, but that's about as far as it goes. Anything more than that, no, too much for me. Again, it's sticky. Don't want to deal with it. No, thank you. I'm a huge lightweight, and I hate drinking in general. Drinking makes me anxious, and it gives me a migraine the next day. Why would I want to do it? I hate the taste of alcohol, and I am a huge lightweight. And then when I'm drunk, I'm just conscious of how annoying I'm being, because I'm annoying enough sober, let alone when I've got a bloody drop of alcohol in me. Speaking of migraines, I've had insanely bad migraines since I was 12. One of the worst ones led me to sleep on the bathroom floor in our bathroom upstairs, which is the world's smallest bathroom. It's so small, but I wanted to have something cool, and the bathroom floor was so cool, so I slept in a towel on the floor. And I actually think if someone had walked in, they'd be like, this is a human experiment. This cannot be a real woman. I was probably about 12, but Still, I used to have to stay home from school, and then my school would be like, she's got a headache. And I'm like, you are ops. You would not sit there on that bum ass front desk if you had a headache. You wouldn't. So I'm not coming into this bum ass school. Twat. Next up, short but sweet, summer is my favourite season. Yeah, summer's my favourite season, apart from the flies. I hate winter with a burning passion. Autumn's alright. Spring, quite like spring, but I just like the warm weather because everyone's happier and I can barely deal with people when they're happy, let alone when they're sad. January is my least favourite month. I absolutely hate it. Always had, always will, always have, always will. Yeah. I hate January, apart from January 29th, which is Mash's birthday. It's the worst month. It makes me so anxious. I will have panic attacks in January continually, and then the minute it's February 1st, well, this year, I was just an absolute wreck for the whole 3 months. December, January and Feb. It was awful. Oh, I've always had a really bad fear of heights. You might not know this about me. Roller coasters, skyscrapers, like tall buildings, anything like that, I'm fucked. Aeroplanes, I'm fine. I can do that. I hate heights. I've never been to Thorpe Park. Well, I went once and I went on Loggers Leap and I cried. I just don't like them. I just don't think it's natural to be that high. After seeing all the stuff that happened with the Smiler, I don't trust them either. Obviously, I went to Disneyland Paris last year and I really had to face my fear because Lara got us fast passes and I was thinking, I'm not letting my bestie buy me a fast pass and then not go on these rides. But I did have to like control my breathing. I had to think about MASH the entire time I was on the ride, and then I thought I was going to throw up. And I'm going back this year with Michael. Michael loves rides. I hate them, but this isn't about Michael. This is about me. If Michael wants to do a 50 facts about himself, he can. I'm quite a picky eater. I'm not going to say that too loud because my mum will be like, yeah, you are. She'll be like, you're fussy. I'm not fussy. I just know what I like and I know what I don't like, and I won't eat something I don't like. And I don't like trying new foods because I just don't cope well with certain textures, and also like I don't know what the fear is with me, but the idea of having something in my mouth that I don't like the taste of, oh my god, it puts the fear of God into me. Oh no, I just stick with what I know. Like, sorry. And leading on from that, I'm a huge creature of habit. I really don't deal well with change and absolutely hate surprises. If someone goes to me, oh, it's a surprise, yeah, you're asking to get decked. I don't want to know if it's a surprise. Just don't tell me. Like, the less I know, the better. Tame Impala said it first. He said, pull yourself together. I hate surprises. I hate them. And I just hate change as well. When someone like makes a plan with me and then they change it, I'm thinking, yeah, cool, you want me to shit myself, don't you? I just don't deal. I just like knowing what's going on at all times. Yeah. Maybe it's like control issues and that's why I pick my skin. Lol. I have either just over or just under 100 tattoos, and I got my first ever tattoo on my 18th birthday, which is my tattoo on my left arm that says Wish You Were Here, which is a Pink Floyd song. And I have none on my back yet because apart from my lower back tattoo that's like my tramp stamp, I haven't got any on my back because I'm going to wait until after I get married, which I know you're probably thinking, why does that matter? I don't know. But I just have this whole thing, and I have none on my chest here because my mum's always been like, please don't get any on your chest because of the day you get married. Which when I tell people, they're like, and you actually listen? And I'm thinking, your parents probably don't even let you get any tattoos, so shut the fuck up. I'm respecting her wishes. Stay in your own lane. Also, I have no inclination to get any on my chest because I would like to get a boob job one day to decrease the size of my boobs. So I'm not going to get any, and then they look mashed up after this said boob job. Also, I haven't got any on my back because I'd like to wear a back distress. And also, I don't know what I want on my back, and I don't want to get something like a huge like mural or something and then hate it. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it. My favourite musical is either Hamilton or Wicked. I've seen Hamilton 3 times live. Cried each time. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? Yeah. Favourite singer, Amy Winehouse. I feel like everyone knows that. I love Amy Winehouse, and growing up I was obsessed with Amy Winehouse and Lady Gaga to the point it genuinely felt like I'd met them even though I haven't. That's how much I loved them. I used to watch Lady Gaga's music videos on repeat. I loved them, and it was because my auntie who lives across the road would always listen to Lady Gaga and Amy Winehouse, and that's why I feel like I thought I knew them. I don't. I've never met either of them. And I can't meet Amy. Don't want to talk about that. And I doubt I'd ever meet Lady Gaga unless, like, God shined on me. But it's so random. I think that's, like, one of my distorted memories from childhood. LOL. I was really into Harry Potter growing up. My favourite of the films is probably 3. I love Prisoner of Azkaban. Gary Oldman, woof! He looks so hot in the Harry Potter series. Oh my days! Or like the later ones, I do quite like Half-Blood Prince, and I really liked. I don't know why I liked 4 and 5 so much because they're quite anxiety inducing, especially fucking what's her name, Professor. What was that bitch face called? Professor Umbridge, like the one that was obsessed with cats and pink. Fuck off, bloody flies. But when I was growing up, everyone used to be like, "Oh, you're so like Luna Lovegood," and I think it's because they thought I was weird, so that was like the best way for them to tell me that I'm weird without like straight up saying it. And I was in Ravenclaw growing up, like in my house from Pottermore. But when I did it again recently, I am in Slytherin, hated by blood. Yes. Oh my god, why is there a fly in here? This is pissing me off. I hate flies. Like, what is the need for them? Get out! Why can't it hear me? Hello? Get out! Get out! My door is... Is it leaving? No. My door is literally open as well for it to leave. Anyway, I'm 5'10", tall queen, which I don't think a lot of people know. I feel like I give off tall energy, but... Where did it go? It's gone. Yes. I'm 5'10". I've got quite a tall family. My dad's like 6 foot. My brother Alex is 6'4". My other brother's like 6 foot, and my mum is like 5'6" or 5'7". I was always destined to be tall. It seems I was always the tallest in my class, and then I remember really vividly in like year 9, I had really bad pains in my legs where I was obviously growing, and I remember thinking to myself, that is so weird. My literal bones are growing underneath my skin. That's fucked. Stop that now. Cut that right out. I did a lot of drama clubs or like musical things growing up because I was so confident and loved performing. Fell off. I was one of the only children that would do solos on my own. Like, what happened to me? I did fall off. Like, what the hell? At GCSE, I did drama. I stopped reading then for a sec. I did drama, media, and history. And I hated my history teacher at GCSE so much. I actually could not wish him worse if I tried. Like, I hate him. He was just the worst person. And he always used to just bully people. Like, he would just bully people in my class and then laugh when we got it wrong. And I was thinking, you know what? I might have got it wrong, but you will always be an ugly man. So there's that. There's your comeuppance. Fucking freak. God, I hated him. And I stopped going to school for like the last few months of year 11 because I was so depressed. And then my school were like, you need to come in because you're going to fail your GCSE. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll come in if I can sit in my tutor's class. And then my tutor used to override the register to say that I was in my lessons so that I wouldn't get in trouble. And then my history teacher was like, why haven't you been coming to my lessons? And I was like, I literally straight up said to him, I was like, I don't like you. I don't like you. Like, one thing about me, I will always tell someone, like, if I'm going to chat shit about someone and then someone says to me, did you say this about me? I will own up to it because, yes, I did. And I will say to you with chest that I don't like you and I think you're an ugly freak. Okay? I don't like you. Sorry. He gets me riled up and not in a good way, like my maths teacher. Woof. Anyway. At A-level, I did English Lit, Sociology and Psychology. And if you don't know, well, here's a perfect chance to find out because this is a bloody 50 facts about me. I dropped sociology 2 weeks before COVID was announced and college was shut down. So I could have got 3 A-levels, but I actually only have 2. I've got 2 C's at A-levels when I could have had 3. But no, I dropped out because my teachers thought it was good for me because I was so mentally ill in college as well. Nothing new. So that's a con. So now even if I wanted to go to uni, I'd have to do a foundation course because I don't have enough like UCAS points. BooCAS points to get into uni. Not that I want to go. Lol. Maybe I'll get a degree one day for like shits and giggles, but right now I'm not because I can't be asked. I wanted to be a paramedic for a while. This is fun. But I have such a weak stomach and cannot deal with body gore. I can't even eat while I watch Criminal Minds. No. Saw a man have a seizure once. Saw him break his ankle. Just bit my tongue. Might pass out. And no, I don't know why I ever thought I could be a paramedic. I can't. And I can't deal with like high stress situations like that. If someone was dying on me, like what am I going to do? You do not want to see me in your last moments, do you? Hell no. Hell freaking no. I'm scared that my laptop's going to run out of battery. Unplug my phone. I cracked my head open when I was in year 1. I was playing Strictly Come Dancing and pulled a running machine down on me and cracked my head open on the corner of the fireplace. LMAO. Lemao. Yeah, I was obsessed with Strictly Come Dancing growing up. Still low-key am, but I don't watch it most years because I just feel like it's not the same as it used to be. But I, was playing Strictly Come Dancing, and I remember what I was wearing was literally just like a little scarf that covered like, obviously my bare chest, and when you're in year 1 there's nothing there. And I pulled this running machine down on me to do this like move where I like tilted down, and then it fell on me. And I remember standing on the toilet in that downstairs bathroom and looking at myself crying because I had to have my whole head bandaged up. But I don't think they did. I can't remember if they did stitches or they just stapled it up, but I do remember that I wasn't allowed to get my head wet for a while. Maybe that's where things went wrong. I cracked my head open. Or maybe it was the fact that I was destined to never be normal because I was born on 9/11. Anyway, I would love to be on Strictly Come Dancing. I know I said it's not the same as before, but if I was on it, oh my god. And I do think I would clear. Like, I think I would win because I do think I've got rhythm in my hips. Ah! Spicy white. No, I'm joking. I'm not spicy white. Sorry. I've been to, right, cool. Can't remember anything I'm saying. I can't remember if this is everywhere I've been, but in my life, I've been to Australia, Paris, the Maldives, Lapland, Barcelona, Fuerteventura, Turkey, and hopefully going travelling at the end of this year. My dream place to go is New York. I've always wanted to go there, like, always. Luckily, like, growing up, I was very blessed. My parents took us on, like, really nice holidays, especially the Maldives. Like, I wish they took us when I was more conscious to remember, because that place was, like, fucking hell. Clear sand, clear sea, nice people, hardly anyone there. Literally a dream, and it was so warm. I saw a literal shark. I saw a baby shark. Yep. Baby shark. Yep. I started my this is a fun fact. I started my period at 13, and it was the day before I was going to Paris on a school trip. And when I saw the blood, I told my mum that I'd cut my bum open. I remember wiping and then going, "Mum, I'm bleeding. I think I've cut my bum." And she was like, "No, you've just started flow." And I cried. I sobbed because I was like, life is so unfair. Why me? This is like, I must be the only person this has ever happened to. And it was the day before my trip to Paris. And my mum scared me out of using tampons when I was growing up. I only used pads. So it literally just felt like wearing a nappy. I know that some people are pad queens, but I'm not. I'm a tampon gyal now. So yeah, in Paris, I had to ask my friend the entire time, like, am I leaking? And I wore white shorts in Paris. Don't know why I did that. Don't know. Don't ask. My anxiety started in year 8 when we spoke about dying in RS, and I've never been the same since. That's a fun fact about me. My biggest fear is death, and I don't know what it is about it, but I just can't comprehend it, and sometimes my brain just doesn't let me stop thinking about it, and then I just stop breathing. So that's always really fun. This is another fun fact. When I was 18, I was in an absolutely god-awful relationship with a very nasty, abusive boy. But since then, I'm almost 3 years clean of any suicide attempts or self-harm. Litmus! Yes, I was in an awful relationship, and his Facebook came up on recommended friends when I was at work yesterday, and he looked like he was a hiker now. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I did not need that brutal reminder that he's still alive and not in prison. But he was awful, and my self-confidence was at the ground. Like, I was actually a hollow shell of a person after we broke up. And I remember my friend from college, Abby, she said to me, she was like, Maze, when we saw you, it was like it wasn't even you. Like, I can't remember exactly what she said. She was like, but watching it happen in front of us, like, none of us would have known how bad it was. But she was like, looking back at like how different you were, and it's like, yeah, I'm the sun, I'm the moon, I'm quite a bubbly, extroverted, confident person, but he made me like so sad and so self-conscious. And now look at me, I'm sat in a grimace chair and he's hiking mountains, and someone should push him off one. Oh wait, who said that? Sorry, my cat ran across my keyboard. My death row meal, okay, would be some form of prawns. I'm a big prawn person. I love prawns. So some form of prawns, And then for my main course, I would have my mum's party time tacos. They're basically just wraps. But the only problem I have with them is that Jamie Oliver made the recipe. And I've had a grudge with Jamie Oliver ever since that he put his grubby little paws on the Cocoa Pops recipe. But party time tacos are litmus. And then I would have a Dr. Pepper and a Mubu, 2 beverages, of course. And then I'd have profiteroles and a pavlova. I love meringues. Like meringues, fresh fruit, bit of cream, maybe a bit of ice cream as well. Couldn't beat it. I would also want to know why I was on death row. What did I do to get there? I would be very intrigued. Oh my god, you know when people were like, if I was to go to prison, what would it be for? I would probably have killed someone. Yeah, because I think I've got it in me. In almost every workplace, I've had an op. Yeah, and that stays true to this day. From my first job to my most recent one. Not my one now. I'd like to think no one at my job now is an op. But then again, I don't know. You never know. But everyone seems nice. And I think I'm a pretty good judge of character. Actually, no. My last boss, who I've got the most major beef with, we got on at first. And then he turned into, well, he was always a massive cunt, but he's just awful. Awful, awful, awful. I had a pony when I was 13 to 19 when he died. Poor Starbar. And I used to go to horse riding competitions, and horse people are some of the worst people you'll ever meet. Pony club is not for the weak. If you have any self-worth, you go to pony club and it's gone, because the people that have children and then raise them at pony club are the most awful people you'll ever meet. They're just awful. My favourite drink is Dr. Pepper, no question. And I'll cheers to that. I used to hate Dr. Pepper growing up because I didn't really like cherry flavoured things, but now, hashtag love them. I hate watermelon flavoured things because watermelon doesn't taste of anything, so why are watermelon sweets so sour? Watermelon isn't sour, it's water. That riles me up. Oh, this is a nice one. I have a deep, just to warn you, I have a deep love and fascination with the nighttime. I can't tell you how much I love it. I love the nighttime. It's just something about it feels so sacred and like just so personal. Like when I'm awake really late at night and not many other people are awake, or some are, I'm like, you're in your house, I'm in my house. The only thing we have in common right now really is the sky. Like it's so quiet, and like on the other side of the world, life is probably like rustling and bustling. But I don't know that because it just feels so peaceful at night. I love the night. Maybe I'll do an ode to my love of the nighttime one day, because I could talk about it for ages. I've always been scared of birds, especially chickens. Chickens I'm like deathly afraid of. But I had a phase of being obsessed with owls. And you know when you have a phase of like really liking an animal, so everyone buys you everything to do with that? That was me with owls, and I had an owl bag for school. But I really love pigeons. They make me cry. Their backstory, how people treat them, don't even want to think about it. Saw pigeons drinking from a puddle the other day and I cried on my way to work, so that was fun. I've been with my current boyfriend for almost 2 years, or I've been back with him for almost 2 years, and if you count our break, it's 3 years. LOL. But yeah, me and Michael have been together for a while. And I'd like to think we'll stay together because I just can't be bothered. Like, if me and Michael broke up, that was it. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I would just not try and bother with anyone else because I just can't be arsed. I love to swim. I love swimming. I would choose a hot holiday over a cold holiday any day because I go on holiday to get a tan and swim. When I see a pool, I want to go in it. It could be -5 outside. I want to go in the pool. I love swimming and I love water. Not necessarily drinking it because I never drink water. Make me sweat, make me harder. But a pool, I love a pool. I've been on antidepressants for almost 2 years for my PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Struggle a lot with the emotional side of my period and used to not be able to function for 2 weeks before it. But now I've been on these antidepressants. They make it a lot more manageable. And I was on antidepressants when I was like 17. And I tried like 3 different antidepressants. And I was on bipolar medication for a while, which, fun fact, I'm not bipolar. So I don't know where they put me on that. I think they were just bored of me. That fucking doctor, she was such a bitch, tried to blame my mum for everything going wrong with me. Twat. Oh god, just remove her license. Doctor fucking do nothing, not do little, do fucking nothing apart from make me feel shit. Twat. Anyway, my dream, okay, this is a good one. Me when it's not a good one. My dream is to be able to retire my dad and be able to run my own charity for young women, or just women, who are struggling with depression, anxiety, bad periods, or abusive relationships, and also help set up more resources in impoverished countries. So like not just schools, but like charities and like ways to help out communities of poorer countries. I would love to do that, and that's why if I ever got to be doing like YouTube or podcasting or whatever full time, the money that I would make from it, I want to be able to give back and like set up things in my name, not just for like my own desire and legacy and whatever, but to help other people who are going through what I've been through, or what are going through that I haven't been through and couldn't understand because I've not been through it. That's what I'd love to do, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. I just think that would be amazing, but we'll see. Hopefully one day. Another dream is to be in a film, even if it's just one. I want to be in a film, I want to star in a film, and I want to win an Oscar. I don't think that's that much to ask. So someone put me in a film now. Now. Some of my favourite films, some of them, I couldn't tell you all of them, are The Worst Person in the World, Mamma Mia, Scooby-Doo, Call Me By Your Name, Cat in the Hat, Past Lives, Queer, About Time, The Florida Project, Spirited Away, Mulholland Drive, Just Go With It, Hoodwinked. I loved The To-Do List. I love silly films, Wild Child, any film that's silly. I also love deep films. Obviously, like Call Me By Your Name is on there and like Past Lives is on there. But I'm a big sucker for a silly film. Like I love a rom-com. I love a film that's just like easy to digest and that you don't feel shit after watching. Favourite TV shows, Pretty Little Liars, Abbott Elementary, Parks and Rec, Sex and the City, Criminal Minds. Pretty Little Liars is probably the most rewatched show I've ever watched. Like I've watched that show so many times and I love it. I can't tell you how much I love it. Favourite character, Tippy the Bird. Or who else is my favourite character? Spencer. I love Spencer. And I love Hannah. My least favourite character, Ezra. Ew. Jenna. Ew. Jenna, actually, nah, she's a baddie. Like, she got what she wanted. And I kind of low-key love Mona. Like, I know she's a bully, but I love her. Also, YouTubers I love, Curtis Connor, Mike's Mike, Slushy Noobs, Bella Fiore. I used to watch so much more YouTube, but then they all turned out to be wrong, and so that's fun. I'm a huge bath person. I will always be willing to have a bath. Like, I always want to have a bath. Long day, bath. Headache, bath. Sad, bath. Happy, bath. Anything, bath. Love a bath. Love it. In terms of type A or type B personality, I think I'm more of a type A personality person, which I can't remember what that even means, but I researched it when I wrote this down, so if you want to know, look it up, because I can't be bothered to do it myself. But I think I'm more type A, which basically just means like more prone to stress, more prone to be annoyed, lots of ambition, motivation, and things like that. I can't actually remember, but I think I'm more type A than type B. And the final fact, the big money maker or not money maker, I am terrible with money. I am an impulse spender and I have never in my life had savings. I have £30 in my savings right now. Cheers to that. Cheers to freaking that. I've never been good with money. I wish I was, but I'm not. I'm actually terrible with money. And I always have been. And that is why I will refuse to let myself get a credit card, because that would be the worst thing for me. And those were my 50 facts about myself. Do you feel like you know me a little bit better now? Did you watch all of them? If you did, then thank you very much. To end this episode, I'm going to talk about the 2 films that I watched at the cinema this week. I saw Novocaine with Jack Quaid. Well, let me say something right now. Let me tell you something right now. I will fuck you up. I love Jack Quaid. I think he is like a low-key Lengers, but he's also extremely charming. I don't know what it is about him. I just think he's got really charming vibes. Me when I'm doing something and they come and distract me. Anyway, I think he's charming. I rated Novocaine 3 stars. My review of it on Letterboxd was, why was casual playing? Because it was not a lesbian love story. But it was good. The storyline, very random, kind of under-explained. Is that the right word? Sorry, I've got a headache now. I'm seeing red. Like, it was very random. And also the ending, like, why did that happen? If I found out someone was doing me dirty, I would never even consider staying with them. But you know what? A simp's a simp. Everyone's got their own thing. He got his comeuppance, like, fair play. But it was fun. It was a very movie, and I think he played a great lead actor, and it was a fun film. And the other film I watched was Snow White. I had the displeasure of seeing that. I rated that film 1 star. It was awful. It was so bad. Yes, Gal Gadot can't act. I saw someone comment Gal Gadot is really bad at acting. She can't comment. She can't comment. She can't act. She's got no range. She's got no emotional intelligence. Like, she's just awful. And it's so funny that the premise is like this evil person taking away everyone's land, starving them, killing them when they don't do what she wants, and that is what she's sticking up for in real life. Funny that. So she actually wasn't really playing a role herself. She was just playing someone evil, but I did say if only she would disintegrate into a mirror in real life, because she just seems awful. I just hated it. I hated the costumes. I hated the wigs. I was bored, and like I keep thinking back to the film, and I literally was thinking how boring this is. Like, they changed it from the original, and the original Snow White is the first princess film they did, and like it is so amazing. It's so beautiful, and I love it. Whistle while you work. Like, that's history, and you've just ruined it. Why do they keep doing live action remakes when they're not good? I liked The Little Mermaid, but this was shit. This was so bad. I rated it 1 star. I probably should have rated it half. But actually, maybe it does deserve to be next to Amelia Perez and Cats and Megalopolis. It was just shit. I hated it. And I guess the only good that did was helping balance out my ratings on Letterboxd, because, like I said before, I'm a 4-star warrior. But yeah. That's all, folks. I'm pretty sure. I think that's it for today. Thank you for joining me again. Can't believe we've made it to a second episode. Oh my god, we might make it to a third. Hey! I need to get ready for work now. Ask me if I want to go. No, that's the answer. I don't want to go. I need to drink some water and take a headache tablet, because I've got a migraine brewing and I'm working till 11:30 tonight. Yay! Send well wishes and prayers. Also, last but not least, I hate the LeBron family. Is that their name? LeBron? The LeBron family? The family vloggers? The ones that say they love God? I watched a video about them earlier that Curtis Connor made, and fucking hell, they just seem awful. I'm actually seeing him live next weekend in Brighton. So if you're going, LMK. I doubt anyone's got this far, but yeah. Thank you for watching or listening or anything, and I will see you next time. God, I could do with a little nap now. Bye! Whistle while you work.